Jocelyn Kelleher with an interesting placement of the ball angle here to kick things off.
Behind it.
Drives it relatively low. Sits up kindly for Alicia O'Neill to bring back towards that 20-metre line, but immediately greeted by 3 Roosters and driven backwards. Cherrington, the dummy half, and Whenua looks much more comfortable with the 13 on her back last couple of weeks. And Yatu with the previous hit up. Really surged into first grade with a real presence about it. Now Pearson and Murphy turned underneath. Solid contact by Kelly on the back rower. Pearson, her kicking game has made a difference to these Eels since coming into the lineup off the back of her calf issue. Baxter having a tremendous campaign. The fullback for these Roosters looking to reclaim top spot on the ladder after Newcastle went past them yesterday. Kelly with ball in hand up over that 40-metre line.
Yeah, they get through a lot of work, the outside backs from the Roosters. First set, they're already in there helping out, get on the front foot. Millie Boyle reaping the rewards of her outside backs.
Davis showed right, went to Aiken. Look at the footwork. Oh, busting them immediately, keeping it alive. And the forward pass is called. I thought she might have been being pulled by the hair as well.
Yeah, it did. There was a little bit of hair floating around, but that just puts the Eels on notice, Taryn Aiken. Her first touch of the footy. It was great work from Keely Davis out of dummy half. She just saw that mismatch opportunity in between 2 front rowers. Great support from Keely Davis, just slightly forward. And they're looking dangerous already.
John Stranger's side have scored 30 or more points in 5 of their last 6 games. They must watch TV every weekend, Rube.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've got a lot of attacking prowess, but defensively their system is very strong as well. You know, like we spoke about in pre-game too, they all understand what their role is within the system, so you very rarely see them leave it, which is why they have been so dominant. There's a penalty here. This will definitely help the Eels. I wouldn't be taking a quick tap. Chunk off a few metres there, let Rachel Pearson kick you out of trouble, get yourself straight into good ball, and just start throwing some really good run shape at these Roosters, try and force them to make defensive decisions.
Kelleher claiming she was being locked up, but I think it's the right call. Darian Ferner, the referee, tipped up by his touchy. Mahalia Murphy.
She was good for them last week. Mahalia Murphy for the Eels. Brought plenty of punch. I like her on that edge back row position.
That first victory came at Cogra against the North Queensland Cowboys. Hard-earned victory after a slow start to the season for last year's grand finalists. It's their 3rd season since joining the comp for Parramatta. Roosters have been there since day dot. Nice pass from Pearson. Oh, what a tackle. Maya Hill Moana 1-on-1.
She cleaned that up.
Pearson. Deft little kick. Oh, the winger got there. Hunts. Just centimetres away as Parker did enough in company with Kelly.
It was a great end to their set there. It was a lovely little kick from Rachel Pearson. Tell you what, they were close.
She's so athletic, Kimberly Hunt. We saw her a few times last week. She made a couple of errors last week, but she got herself straight back into the competition as we see that contact. Maya Hilmoana on Talisha O'Neill. But that is a very, very good place to end a set for the Eels.
Such a good take by Hunt, and Parker had to improvise because she was going for the take and wound up having to produce the tackle. Numbers created here. Deft pass by Koenig. No touch off Baxter, so Mia Wood, who scored a hat-trick last week on debut, able to keep the move going. Don't forget the blockbuster bathroom reveals tonight on The Block on 9 from 7 p.m. Aiken, so casual. And another forward passes the core. Geez, that's borderline to pull that.
The problem with that one, though, was that she threw it right on halfway. And so the touch judge has the line as well as a moment of reference. So the pass goes behind her. That one's, yeah, that's forward.
Another look at it.
Yeah.
Good call.
That's forward.
It's so hard to throw that next pass after you collect a ball that is a pinpoint. So Tara Aiken had to reach back for that from her lock. Sometimes I feel like it's best just to go into contact and reset if you can afford to, which they could.
Lindsay Tui playing at left centre. O'Neill fully wound up, trying to put some footwork on to avoid the heavy contact from Hill Moana. Now to running a decoy for Murphy to take them on again. Good early signs here for Parramatta. Short side for Pearson. Cut out ball of Tui Hiku. Such a good team defensively. Kelly and Surgis in the centres. There's Amiatu. First 2 runs in the NRLW were brilliant, and the offload there was quite something. Berryman Duff. On the last, Pearson has been found. Back against the grain she goes. Gives them every chance, and Zali Faye capable of reeling that one in. Couldn't do it this time.
Where do you want it? Where do you want it?
Well, still, have a look at where the Eels have finished this set of 6. She was very close. She should have caught that one, Zali Faye. She got her timing right with the jump over Mia Wood.
Crowd really jammed in on the far side here at the Industry Group Stadium in Gosford. Crying out for a team to cheer on week in, week out. I reckon this part of the world.
I definitely love their footy up there. Very rich ground, talent.
Oh, Baxter weaving her way through, and Surgis was tackled on suspicion and appealing for a penalty. Nothing forthcoming. Joseph on play 5 takes them down towards that 30-metre line. Surgis certainly had a case. On the last, Kelleher to go high down towards Hunt. Camped underneath it. Oh, the timing from Parker.
Oh, she would have heard those footsteps. She came charging.
Love seeing Bridie Parker back in the game. After such a long layoff with injury, she's just hit the ground running.
It was that early grand final last year. 2 seasons played, of course, and started 2022 in the grand final, did her ACL.
That is, if you're looking for a textbook on how to charge down, kick chase, and time your tackle, that was it. That was beautiful.
Possession in favour of the Eels early on. Kick to come from inside the 40 from Pearson. In between fullback and winger.
That was another great kick from Rachel Pearson. Just drilled it nice and low. Good placement between the 2 of them.
How different the start of the season may have looked if Pearson and Elsie Albert hadn't gone down with those calf problems on the captain's run. Albert returned and then did her calf again. Ruled out for the season. One of the marquee signings from the Dragons this season, so that didn't help Dean Widder's cause. Ruben Cherrington getting in the face of Jess Surgis. Kennedy would be proud. She will come back next week from her 4-week ban. Older sister of Ruben. Aiken. Boulay just casually allowing that juggle to come back into her grasp. On the last, Joseph finds her half. Aiken dropped in behind. Oh, high tackle. Careless by Koenig on Abbey Church.
Beautiful clean-up by Abbey Church. She just shadowed inside Taryn Aiken there. Just waiting for her to put the ball to the toe, and she swept in beautifully, picked it up, got herself a penalty for it too. So Rachel Pearson will look to bite off a few more metres here, just take a little bit of pressure off their outside backs and their ball runners. Nice little touch finder.
Last game of round 7 in the NRLW. Just 2 more games to come after this for all of the clubs. Parramatta finish off against the Titans and the Sharks. Looking to find momentum to take into next season. Finals now with just 1 win under their belt. Started the season with 5 straight losses, but playing a lot better here against the powerhouse that is the Sydney Roosters. Pearson for Nua, and they shift it by Berryman Duff to the dangerous Murphy. Fay running out of room. Elected to hold on. He'll play it on the last. Terrible service. Berryman Duff and Pearson in a real muddle here. Kick backwards towards Church. Great persistence by Kelleher.
Great work from Marker. She put that pressure on even from the get-go with that dummy half pass that hit the deck, and then just never gave up. That was all effort. They felt that pressure, the Eels, and now the Roosters get to start their set over the 30-metre line. That was a massive effort.
Awkward for Surges, but no damage done. So that left knee strapped. Plays through pain week in, week out. Jess Surges. Legs tackle Cherrington. Joseph with her head up, taking the line on. 5-1. The Roosters' only defeat came in Canberra. Oh, lovely pass. Kelly keeps it alive. Poulet steps around one, and Otessa Poulet finishes another fabulous try for the Sydney Roosters.
It was great support from Otessa Poulet, but that line that Isabel Kelly just ran of no one else but Tara Aiken, that left edge is so dangerous. Poulet usually runs a really strong line, but she was support playing here. She was on the inside, came back on the inside of Tara Aiken. That line from Isabel Kelly was absolutely superb. It took Abby Church, the fullback, out of the equation once she hit contact, and the support play, brilliant as well.
There is no panic from Poulet in any situation. That pass a little low, just scooped it up and crossed for her 4th try in the NRLW. Setting up this conversion attempt for Kelleher to make it 6-0. To try the difference here. Otessa Poulet, the scorer of the first meat pie. Short kickoff will work.
Well done, Eels.
That is superb.
We've seen a few of these throughout the season where the kicks towards the sideline have been working. Contestable kicks also been working. But you know what led to that previous try, as we just watch a replay of Rachel Pearson with the kickoff? I'm going to go all the way back to that defensive effort by Jocelyn Kelleher. She worked hard out of marker, and the system in the Roosters looks like first marker always covers open unless it's last, and then you just attack the kicker, and she just continued to attack and help turn the ball over in good field position. Now it's the Eels' turn in good field position.
And in that situation as well that Kelleher was in, you don't want to get a hand in there and knock it on, give them a set restart as well. So she summed it all up.
Oh, very smart.
Maddie Jones just on for the Eels. He's been a regular starter throughout the campaign. And the number 17 here today. Pearson. Nice line being run. No way through. Out there on the edge for Murphy. Jones demanding it. Second hit up on this set. Awkward fall into the contact from Hill Moana over the top. We get to the last, but Berryman Duff to kick, and it's a very good one from the 5'8". They'll get a repeat set here surely, won't they? Yes. Final effort from Faye.
Well, again, it's the smarts of Rachel Pearson getting the Eels into a good field position off the kickoff, and then her halves partner came up with a lovely kick off the back end to force that set restart as we watch that heavy contact through the middle. But again, the kick is only as good as its chase, and the kick chase was right on the money for the Eels.
Roosters go long and back their D here. Again, O'Neill driven back. Look at that effort. Koenig and Surgis in tandem. Murphy looking for some go forward, but Hill Moana again making her presence felt. Pearson now scheming. Back against the grain. There's Jones. Abby Church just loitering with intent, the fullback. Out the back here. And the footwork is dynamic. Stepped around Aiken. And needed back up there from Poulet. Jones again. Threatening to pass, carried the ball in two hands, showed it to the defenders as Hamilton prepares to enter the fray.
Good.
Not played at is the call, and she tracked it down anyway. Aiken trapping and scrapping by default. Number one attack, number one defence through the opening 6 rounds, these Roosters.
They looked very comfortable defending their line then, the Roosters.
Baxter now with flow, straight into the ball game. Grace Hamilton ready to go. On the last, Davis elects to kick in behind the fullback. And Hunt, confident, pick up off her bootlaces. Oh, risky play in that part of the ground, but Church held on.
She thought she was just going to be the option back on the inside, not the one that was going to be taking the hit up there. She did very, very well to juggle that under some heavy contact. But the Eels struggling to get out of their own 30 at the moment.
Roosters own the head-to-head 2 games to 1. It's Pearson from inside that 40 again. Trying to get the ball back via her right boot once more. Baxter will have to keep it in, of course.
She kicked it on the 4th then, Rachel Pearson. Corbin Baxter was set for a kick, but not super deep. She might have to readjust that because she's got one heck of a boot when she hits it sweet.
Rachel Pearson's life all changed when she looked up and saw rugby league being played on the TV screen at a pub in Hay. I thought, I can do that. And Talisha O'Neill receiving treatment. She's been in the wars here early. And this penalty's been brewing for the Roosters. Quick tap taken by Davis.
Late in the tackle count too. It was on the 4th. This is really going to test the resolve of the Eels' defence.
Joseph just operates in that middle channel. probing for any gaps to open up. Switch of the point of attack here to Aiken, and Baxter, big hole opened up, and still going here, Corbin Baxter. Cherrington and Church combined to drag her down. Oh, that's clever from Davis, but tripped up. Nice defensive work from Cherrington again at marker. Aiken with some room to move. Pass out in front of Kelly. Knew she had the winger unmarked, but they scramble again. What a player Toya Hiku is.
Great defence. Isabel Kelly needed to catch and pass that one straight away.
Aiken to go crossfield. Surgis off her hands. Well done, Parramatta.
Knock on, Roosters.
I think they'll take a lot out of that set of defence. They scrambled well. They identified the threats of the Roosters when they wanted to try and jump in, the way Keely Davis likes to shoot in there. Edge defence there for the Eels, coming up and shutting down the threat in Isabel Kelly. They'll take a lot out of that set of 6.
Would have been something special if Surgis could have latched onto that. Instead, she helps create this error from Tui, and great field position on offer for the Roosters again.
Well, they do manage to turn away defensively a couple of times, but if they continue to turn over cheap possession like this, the floodgates will open. So they need to make sure their discipline with ball in hand is right on point. Make sure all those little things like playing the ball works correctly. No forward passes. All of those small things that add up to big results.
Oh, Surgis creating it, and Mia Wood is just loving life in the NRLW. 4 tries in a game and a half.
I would be too if I had Jessica Surgis on my inside. That was just sheer speed from Jessica Surgis off that scrum. And we'll get to have another look at it on the Harvey Norman replay, but she gets nice early ball. She's got room to move. And she also knows she's got a speedster and Mia Wood outside her, but the service from Keely Davis was pinpoint. Jess Surgis just gets on the outside of her centre, which makes Sally Faye feel a little bit nervous. She comes in to help out in defence, and Mia Wood, she's in wide open space. She too has that speed as well, so whilst it was all created from the speed and footwork of Jessica Surgis, Mia Wood still had to have that pace to finish it off. Simple but very clever footy.
Well, if we get a high shot of that again, you can just see that their spacing isn't there from the start. They're too narrow, they're too tight in. They need to stand a little bit wider in that space. Have a look here, look at the defence. They're sitting inside shoulder. You can't do that off a scrum when you've got a player of Jess Surgis' calibre there. You need to stand outside and try and herd her and shepherd her back into where your help is coming from. So they just need to readjust that one, the Eels.
Tough shot here from Kelleher, and it slices away.
Conversion unsuccessful. The score remains your City Roosters 10, Eels 0.
Early in their 7th game of the season, and the Roosters have now scored 41 tries in this campaign. So free scoring. Find so many ways to manufacture tries, and it was all Jess Surgis creatively there for Mia Wood to finish in the corner. Parramatta playing catch-up. Conceding just 12 points a game as well, these Roosters. Baxter to sweep it out to Kelleher. Hamilton winding up. Got her at late notice when Amber Hall was ruled out for the season. Shorten Burton, unfortunately, also out for the campaign with an ACL. Short passing here by the Roosters for Koenig. Davis looking to go to work with 2 more plays up their sleeve. They'll shift it to Aiken. And Poulet getting rid of Pearson. What a damaging ball runner Otessa Poulet is.
They've got a good 1-2 punch. Pasakala comes on as well and can play on that left edge. She's also incredibly powerful as Aiken puts a little chip kick in.
And Kelly deliberately kicked that, did she? To create a repeat set or knock it on? What's the call? Yeah, knock on.
Roosters.
Play the ball.
He's got that right.
Yeah, there it is.
She's in a bit of a
If Abby
mood.
Church was going to go 110 metres.
Yeah, I know. She's in a bit of a mood though, Tara Aitken, just always looking to attack.
It was a late change yesterday. Tanika Todd Hunter had to play her second game in the NRLW after 31 minutes against the Raiders in round 5. Come on in that number 20 jumper. All the Dubbo cheers as they watch Tanika try and get her hands on the footy here. She slots in at dummy half. Nice service, crisp service for Whanua. Right on point for Pearson from Todd Hunter, and Baxter with confidence.
Oh, she took that really well, Corbin Baxter. Just the way that she came onto the ball at speed, it was wobbly. It was a good kick from Rachel Pearson, but safe as houses to get their set started.
Todd Hunter knows she's in the game now after Kelly tried to go right over the top of her and Surges off the back of it. Speaking of 1-2 punches, those two centres.
Slow up there, Jess Surges.
Came into the game with that knee strapped.
Yeah, looked like she was clutching the other one though, the unstrapped knee. So hopefully that's not the case.
Oh, Tara Aitken again, just onto the ground. Welcome to the ball game. You can't wipe the smile off that dial. Amalia Pasakala.
And we were just talking about this young lady a few minutes ago, coming on, providing a 1-2 punch on the left edge for the Roosters. Her and Otessa Pule interchanged what.
They're just going to invite Tara Aitken into this game if they continue to sit back and wait, because she's such a dangerous player, always looking for options to attack.
Seemingly no mouthguard for Pasakala. Knows she can go over untouched, playing alongside Aitken as it goes to 16-0. What a feeling for Pasakala to come on and score a try almost immediately, and it's a message across on the wristband as well. There's another short kick-off. Oh, Hunt. Right into Kelly.
Yeah, I thought that might have been a little high.
It's going to be reviewed.
See what comes of it. But, geez, you could hear the contact. It was a big slap of bodies. I do like this. Yeah, she definitely collects her high there. I really like this short towards the sideline kickoff option. Catches teams unawares. This time, Isabel Kelly was all over it.
And the bounce was pretty kind. Edge back rowers are plenty, these Roosters, and Pani Hopewadi ready to come on, can play in that position or in the middle. numbers are rising out here, but pass behind Baxter as Mahalia Murphy cranked up the pressure with the contact.
Yeah, it was great defensive pressure. Isabel Kelly came off her left centre position and came as that extra sweeper. So quite often they do that. They give her a little bit of room to roam. You see Isabel Kelly starts nice and tight and comes around with Corbin Baxter. That then gives the ball player, Kelleher, an option to either hit short to Isabel Kelly, Corbin Baxter's there, and then Jessica Sturgis on the outside. That triple threat, when they get those passes right, well, there's no stopping them. It's just that execution they've got to fix up.
Church, one of their best throughout this season. Here's the boss Kapua, caught the eye last week with a win on debut.
Rachel Pearson was in studio. That's a great run. Speaking about Boss Kapua yesterday, saying her parents moved over to Australia to give her an opportunity to play rugby league and to work her way into the NRLW. It's a great story, one of many.
Just held on Murphy. What about the footwork?
Oh.
What a ball runner Amiatu is.
She's such a weapon. She's earned her starting position for the Eels.
Took on 5 of them there. Plays it on the last. Pearson ready to kick. It's a beauty. Aiken has no option but to run it dead.
Well, that's the quality of Rachel Pearson. She had significant pressure coming at her from the inside, from the outside. She threads the needle, and it is perfectly weighted. It forces Taryn Aiken to play at the football. And again, the kick chase, Murphy and Pearson chasing as well. Good stuff for the Eels.
Pearson gets there on the full. Kennard.
All right, Taryn, off the grip.
Now to enter the Westpac red zone where they're dominating in terms of play the balls in this contest.
They're also dominating in completions.
Keep going.
Oh, lovely play, Berryman Duff. Oh, Faye couldn't hold on and was a little behind the players. Murphy searched for her winger.
Oh, you got to find a way to catch those, Zali Faye. Mahalia Murphy, she did brilliantly then. Rachel Pearson gets it out. But it was that little bit of second phase going into contact, and that space, again, Mia Wood jamming right in. I think there'll be more opportunities. That's not the first time it's happened on that edge, so they've got to keep peppering that, making sure that they call a player back on the inside and have some strong lead runners, but they're creating opportunities on the left edge.
Bawadi, first hit up for her. Zali Faye got off to a red-hot start this season. You may remember at Combank in round 1, the first half tries. Hamilton targeting space up the middle and just held up long enough there by Murphy. Very important tackle. As there were support runners for Hamilton. Aiken now. Turns Kelly back inside. Hamilton knocked it backwards clearly. And burns that play. So we get to the last. A little bit of clunkiness for the Roosters. Kelleher, oh, what a pass! Designed for Sturgis, weaves her way through. Oh, that is all class.
That one is definitely a set play. You could see it working in the background. They're going to have a look to see if there's any Eels players that have been impeded from making a tackle here.
Just check the grounding here.
Oh, the grounding. Well, let's have a look at... Oh, we're going to just have a look at the grounding.
Try.
That's a try.
Come on. You don't think Jess Sturgis is going to bomb it from there?
That's a try.
Jess Sturgis' left hand remains on the ball and it's grounded in the in goal. We have a decision.
The only thing I would have been checking was if there was potentially an Eels player in the lead-up. I thought the grounding was perfectly fine on first viewing. So when we get to see the Harvey Norman replay, we get to see just how beautiful this setup play was. Out to the right, when it breaks down in the middle of the field the way it did, it's hard to sometimes get back on track. But look at this, you can just see that outside in play. That is a very old one that's hardly ever used. Outside in like that, and you've got the speed and strength of a Jess Sturgis. who's able to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, the timing was absolutely perfect. Olivia Koenig ran a brilliant line too. She kept the width on her line, so that opened up the space, that last minute change of angle from Jess Surges to burst through the middle. They nailed it, the Roosters.
And the lead is 22-0. Another highlight moment for Jess Surges, a career that's been full of them. And looking ominous again, these Roosters, 22-0 up, 2 minutes before half-time.
20 off the ball. Square markers.
Aiken gets some early ball. Kelly against Toi Hiku. That's a good battle.
Square, Pearson, same buckle. White. Go to.
All those tackle breaks so far. Dominant in that category, the Roosters. Oh, Pasakala, post-contact meters tallying about 10 on that run. Had to search for it. Joseph, oh, what the ball playing, it's called forward. And she put Hamilton through a big hole that no one really saw. And this looks line ball.
Why would you take this off the big girl? Let's see a replay of it. It was very, very flat. I'll give them that. Very flat. She was facing the side. Oh, that comes out of the hands backwards.
That was fine.
Oh,
That was fine.
that is not forward.
The touchy didn't call it, seemingly. That's all on the ref, who had no angle at all, Darian Ferner.
Oh, Grace Hamilton is hard done by there.
Sliding doors moment, perhaps. The Eels with a chance to hit the scoreboard before half-time off the back of a shocking goal.
Shocker.
Church.
Here she is.
Amiatu trying to get the arms free. Great effort again. Some extraordinary offloads from Tyler already in this game. Davis searching for the one-on-one strip. Told her teammate to drop off, but Todd Hunter wasn't letting it loose. Have to do something now. Pearson dies with the footy. Siren about to sound. Oh, hip drop potential here, the way she's feeling for that lower leg. They'll check it all out before saying this half is over, so stand by. Anytime you see a player react to that, like that, to the lower leg, has a hip drop occurred or not?
We've got a penalty here.
Yeah.
16. God report for a hip drop. Going to be a penalty here.
Not 10 in the bin though, so can't be too severe. What do? Do you take the shot at goal when you're trailing by 22? You've only got one play.
No, they just need to have a crack here. They should have a set play in mind. I don't think the 2 points is worth it for them. I think they just need to have a crack, have a set play. They know that they can create some space here. Oh yeah, that's definitely
a hip drop.
How is that not 10 in the bin with
Yeah.
what's
Well,
happened?
we saw one very less severe than that this weekend, given a 10 in the bin.
Yeah.
That's an
Rachel
interesting
Pearson has
call.
said we'll take 2 points, we'll try and hit the scoreboard.
What?
I'm baffled.
Well, she wasn't. She wanted to play, and then the other half of the team were looking at the bench, asking if they want the 2. So I probably would have gone with Rachel Pearson's gut on this one.
2 points is not going to get them a win over the Roosters at this point in the game.
I'm with the coach though, hit the scoreboard, 1 play, low percentage, try and get the 2. And Pearson does sneak it in. And they're on the board with the final play of the first half. Recovered nicely from being the victim of that hip drop. At half-time, it's 22-2.
Home team is leading impressively. What's not to love?
Father's Day as well. ISO time for Todd Hunter. Flashing the Indigenous mouthguard. Ready to go with a smile on her face to start the second half as Hamilton brings it back with purpose, and Todd Hunter required to be third player in on that tackle. Such fluent ball movement from these Roosters. It's a joy to watch.
No, their kickoff sets are always well drilled because everybody's got their depth right. The passing is hitting the mark. No one's having to stop back and reach for it. And they roll up the field with ease, the Roosters.
Oh, that hurts. It just got even easier.
About that run after this tap was taken. Hopewadi plays it a little awkwardly. Set up here for Keely Joseph. Oh! Tried to force an offload that wasn't there for Hamilton. He'll be playing catch-up after that offload was denied in the first half. And look at the return here from Tui.
Well, they're the parts of the game that the Roosters need to get right because they've got a great defensive line across the board. Their attack is brilliant, but that last pass, particularly on the second when it's unnecessary, that's when they need to practice patience because they'll need it come finals time.
Some strength on display there from Hamilton, holding up Murphy. Todd Hunter out of dummy half, links with Kennard. Parramatta took that shot at penalty goal after the half-time siren had sounded to hit the scoreboard, and now looking for points early in the second half. Kelleher just responding to the referee's promptings in time.
Oh, yes.
Nice run. And was Kelleher okay? Must have been. Square at marker. Gets out again to put some pressure on Pearson. Crossfield kick. Hits Hunt. Somehow stayed in the field of play, but we'll have to hand it over.
Bridie Parker again came up with a very well-timed tackle, shutting down Kimberly Hunt. But Todd Hunter, since she's come on, she's looked very bright, and she's picking her moments really well to jump out off the back of a nice run or a very quick play the ball. Very likely for the Eels.
That's a strong run from Isabel Kelly.
Now Baxter. Wrestled to the deck by Murphy. Joseph so often involved on play 4 or 5.
I think we just heard everyone say, hang on to the ball!
Flat service for Kelleher. Aiken worried about running behind Asakala perhaps. For Kelleher to take over. And Aiken out of play. And tumbles it down to Church. Well positioned again, the Parramatta fullback.
Well, the last 2 finishes for the Roosters there have looked a little out of sorts. And we saw it once or twice in the first half, but just individual brilliance was able to score them points off the back of it. But they definitely need to work. They're going to want to work on that. Make sure they get that working correctly.
Massive game coming up next week involving these Roosters against Newcastle, who look like having identical records in that round 8 encounter.
That is a mouth-watering clash already.
Some would suggest a grand final preview potentially, but the Broncos are playing great footy. Canberra surprising everyone in their first campaign.
Titans in the mix as well. Again, Todd Hunter, here she goes.
Who wants it? Baxter does. What a pickup, defending that try line.
She's confident, isn't she, Todd Hunter? Got great ruck recognition, but just backs herself every time.
She just needed someone to go with her, didn't she? She does. Everyone knew it was the last. Good little scoop from Kelleher. A few post-contact meters.
Kelly, the Surges, the centres combined. You don't see that with too many teams. Forced out the back, and it's gone backwards, but no one there to tidy up. Kennard first to latch onto it. Again, a little loose, the Roosters.
A little loose, no urgency. They're just pushing those passes, trying for a little bit too much. They've got to keep it simple, get to the end of their set, have a good kick chase, get some hard work into the game before they try any of that.
Again, just mounting the play the balls for the visitors here inside the Westpac red zone. Almost trebling the count of the Roosters inside the attacking 20. Boss Kapua got rid of a couple of tacklers. And there's Parker again, not letting Toyu Hiku get into open space. Short side with Parker out of position. Pearson trying to get Hunt on the outside. Look at the way they adjust. Kelly just drifts widest defender and makes that tackle count and prompts an error in the play the ball.
Well, this has been the issue with the Eels. They get themselves into this red zone, as we saw with the data that just popped up before. They've had significantly more tackles in their own 20, but when they get there, the options that they're coming up with aren't working, or they just come up with an error, a simple error. And speaking of errors, 9 for the Roosters now for the whole game, 7 in the first half. I'm pretty sure, Fergo, that would have been something that John Strange would have addressed at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. They're gifting the Eels opportunities and letting them into the game. What saved them, that was the perfect example, their defence. Readjusting, we saw Isabel Kelly shift out to the wing and they look very comfortable. And whilst they're very dangerous in attack, they do need to clean it up a fair bit. They've got the hardest parts of the game nailed, but they need to tidy up the rest of it now.
Davis spots a hole. Oh, use the referee, if you don't mind. That's
Take
cheeky.
that! That was a great little step around the referee. 2 steps ahead.
Was that touched? That might be 6 again.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
What a take, considering it was touched in flight by Keely Joseph.
She could have a career in the slips.
I'm still picturing that step from Keely Davis on the ref. That was a ripper.
Is she doing that podcast weekly? Or might get a mention?
Her and Millie Boyle.
Baxter to Hamilton. Mace Hamilton taking them on early in the count, of course, after that set restart. So plenty of time to draw up the set play. Here they go via Aiken. Flat service for Hasakala. And Hiku took it upon herself, didn't she, to slow the back rower down.
She just hung on to it as well in contact. Good read from Toi Hiku.
So close to the
Look at
line
this.
here, and hard to stop. The Roosters score another one, and it's Pani Hopewati.
Well, this is when the Roosters are at their best. You know, I mentioned that probably the last 2-3 sets of 6, they looked a little out of sorts. But the Harvey Norman replay, when they get this broken play, there you go, Fergo, there's a nice little replay for you.
I love it.
When they're in broken play like this, it's the options that they come up with off the back of it that sets them apart from other teams. They then shift to the opposite side, find space, and then when the defence readjusts or over-adjusts, they just get straight back at where that space is. And this, again, Keely Davis with a really good option off the play the ball.
Oh, she's such a good player, Keely Davis. I'm a big fan, massive fan, not only of the step and footwork around the ref, but she's been brilliant. She sets up all of their attacking options. But that's what I mean about the Roosters. They just need to get through their sets. They can't afford to do any silly stuff, because when they do, they're a very hard football side to stop. That's simple footy, but they used it beforehand. Good passing, great running options, plenty of movement around the ball, and then it takes something as simple as a really hard, strong, great line to go over. They just need to get through their sets.
And all their run shape, their setup is exactly the same. So the previous one, when they shifted out to the left, they still had the 2 middle runners and they ran as decoys, as leads, and they played out the back. This time, Eels overread it. Thought it was going to go out the back and shot up too quick. As Jocelyn Kelleher is settling herself in.
28-2. So second career try for Pani Hopewati, and great to see so many kids in their rugby league jumpers from their local clubs here. Short kickoff, And tracked down again.
Oh,
knocked on,
on.
unfortunately, by Pearson. Claimed it was by the Roosters, but it's against her. And didn't quite come off, but she's got variety, doesn't she?
She does, and you can only try in those scenarios. But it was a good option. Same thing with the Eels. They're changing the variety. Short kickoffs, but just keeping the Roosters on their toes, and it nearly paid off.
And smart as well, because she identified that Millie Boyle was standing up in that lock role where she's not used to playing. So she was set a little bit deep and a little bit wide. So she's a smart player, Rachel Pearson.
Again, an offload on the opening play from Kelleher to find Kelly. Captain's challenge might have been interesting there if Pearson threw it upstairs, because Boyle appeared to get the hand on the footy first. Marginally, would have been a dead heat.
Probably would have gone with on-field decision, retain the challenge.
You're ready for that role in the bunk, right?
Please don't do it to me. Nobody needs that in their life.
Oh, what a run again by Aiken. Inside the 20 she went. Close passing again. Surgis has a double. Worried about a finger, I think, in the put down, but the try stands and created by Koenig.
Same thing, very clever from the Roosters, changing the variety in which they attack. They've got great run shape, but the pace at which they're coming onto the ball. The Eels just a little bit too back on their feet. This was in the lead up, Taryn Aiken. They showed her a fractured defensive line, and she took the line on, and it was off the back of it. A quick play the ball from the Roosters, and just some pretty simple footy. Just such good work from Koenig, and that line from Jessica Surgis. There wasn't much space, but the pace at which she was coming onto the ball, and so too Koenig taking that line on. And then just the inside shoulder. Too fast, too strong from Jess Surgis.
Well, simple footy is usually the best kind of footy, and all that is as the ball carrier, getting somebody running with you and just saying to them, let's get at that player. We're going to get at the centre here. Inside, outside shoulder. You force that defender to make a decision then. So tries confirmed. Looks like Jess Surgis is going to come off with that hand complaint. But that's all that takes. Inside, outside shoulder, then the defender has to make a decision. If they go for the ball carrier, the tip-on's there. If they drift off to the support runner, you go yourself.
Busting through that 30-point barrier again, the Roosters, for the 6th time in 7 games this season, and add 2 more from Kelleher. Hope you're enjoying this triple header of rugby league action. And what about the next game coming your way on Nine's Wide World of Sports? The prize for the winner is a home final next weekend, also that you can watch live on Nine, of course. Canberra on the road to take on Cronulla. Who are you tipping, Roo?
Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to tip the home side, though. Home side to come up with the goods. There's a lot to play for.
Got to be the Sharkies, doesn't it? Although the Raiders is their bogey side. They've won the last 9 games. It's something stupid because my husband's a Raiders fan, and I tell him to sleep on the lounge every time the Sharkies come up against them.
You've got no work responsibilities this afternoon, Alana. You'll be there.
I'll be enjoying it.
On the hill.
On the hill. Probably not with an empty hand. But the kid's running me ragged. I'm sure of it.
Cut out ball to Aiken. Thought she might let it fly there with an overlap being created. Opawati receiving the short ball and maintaining the momentum.
So that's only 2 tackles. Look at where they are.
Boyle now. It's so impressive, the way they roll up the field. Now inside the red zone off the back of points for Kelleher. Look for Aiken to go to work. She's centre field. Behind the lead runners. Almost kicked it backwards. Oh! Jolie Morris taken across the sideline in the end after trying to pluck that one.
Yeah, it was an impressive set to get that territory. She'd want that kick back again, Taryn Aiken. Didn't hit it sweet and it went backwards a little bit, but it could still be worse. They're still pinning the Eels down and making it hard for them to get out the back end of their field. But the way they rolled through the middle of the Eels, that's the worrying part.
Turns up week in, week out. Abby Church. Sat down by solid defence though. Telstra has some of the best defence in the business, tackling millions of cyber threats every day.
All right, Keely, up and square.
Faye off her wing for work. Felicia O'Neill's recovered on the sideline after being having that neck and shoulder tweaked a little. Todd Hunter again just stumbled as she looked to put a move on.
She had some great runs, Todd Hunter.
Pearson's kick. Baxter.
Good chase.
What a chase it was. Oh, awkward fall for Corbin Baxter. Everyone holds their breath.
Oh, she's straight up, but that was very awkward. Nothing illegal in it. It was just the way that all of the bodies collided and where her leg was caught during the tackle, but she's moving around in back play. Just watching that there. She just jams in that there. Oof.
Trying to absorb 3 or 4 bodies pushing you the other way. You just can't do it. Jogging into position now, Baxter. Behind Boyle. How good is Millie moving in her second stint?
Oh, the post-contact meters.
Kelleher, it's on the last, so she will kick over the top. Well done, Zali Faye.
Good chase. That's Corbin Baxter. And I was watching her in back play, joining the line, and then that kick chase. Good to see she looks at 100%.
Standalone fixture here today at the Industry Group Stadium on the Central Coast. And Abby Church looks to entertain them here. What a run. Support from Faye. Oh, what a pass that is over the top to Perryman Duff as the Eels make the footy sing.
That was a great pass from Zali Faye.
Todd Hunter got there, and the flow continues for Tui.
That's high.
Koenig had enough.
She
high shot.
certainly got that wrong. They had a really quick play the ball, and it got Koenig out of position.
On report.
Well, it was a great initial run, wasn't it, Abby Church? You know, you spoke about her speedy. She turns up week in, week out, and she brought Zali Faye onto the ball beautifully, who came up with a nice offload. But the Eels continue to press the advantage they've created.
Great opportunity to score their first try. Pearson for Murphy. Back on the angle. Slowed down by Davis and Boyle. Pass out in front of Pearson.
She had no one to pass it then because their Roosters defence was right up and took all of the options away.
Boulay back on for her second shift as well. Koenig asking for support. 2 more plays on this set for Parramatta. Oh, lovely angle being run by Mahalia Murphy. Went round Kelleher like she wasn't there. And there is the first 4-pointer for the Eels.
Oh, that was such a great run from Mahalia Murphy. Just coming on at 100 miles an hour, a brilliant angle. And they did have actually numbers out there on that left edge. Here's the high tackle from Koenig that earned them the penalty. And they were on the attack. Here's Mahalia Murphy. She just gets on the inside shoulder. Koenig was worried about the overlap on the edge, which they had and they created, but just completely missed her assignment. The speed and that angle from Mahalia Murphy. Outstanding footy from the Eels.
Yeah, and the high shot, if we see it again, shows it beautifully. Mahalia Murphy starts really wide. Then the A defender, who is Joss Kelleher, gets up really quick. But what happens is she puts on this very late pre-line footwork. And that's what actually catches Kelleher off guard there. And she came up with a brilliant try last week as well, Mahalia Murphy. Like I said, I really, really like her in that second row slot.
And Pearson converts that try. 26 points the margin. And don't forget the pinnacle of the season, the 2023 NRL and NRLW Telstra Premiership Grand Finals will take place at Accor Stadium on Sunday, October 1. You can be part of it. Get to nrl.com/tickets. As the changes are made, a double change, getting some fresh middles back out there.
Yeah, we just got word as well the decent crowd up at Central Coast Stadium. 3,765 have turned up today on Father's Day for the standalone women's fixture between the Eels and the Roosters. And look at that, aren't they loving it?
Well, it's a family affair, isn't it?
Ten-team comp for the first time this season. So many more players getting their opportunity at this level. How many times has that happened as well?
That defence from the Roosters has not wavered once this game. Their line speed, they had 3 in the tackle off their kick chase then to start it off. Have a look at this, just their legs. They just do not stop moving. Such good intent. And they reap the rewards off the back of it. Very happy Millie Boyle.
Combining with those 2 forwards who just came back on, John Strange would be delighted with the impact they made.
Look at this scrum set up. Midfield, loaded up the right edge.
Got to get in.
Oh, just showed their hands
right
early there.
Yeah, Parramatta only had 3 in the
Abby,
scrum.
right in.
They get 6 in there.
Abby. Right ball. Right.
They come left for Kelly. Boy, Hiku, good luck getting around her. Jolie Morris playing that Shorten Burton role. It's the backup dummy half. Davis can go in there when required now. Kelleher goes to Kelly. Again, Toi Hiku does enough. With help from Hunt. Back to centre field for Boyle. A little static here, the Roosters. Not much room to move. From close range, they try and crash over again, and Paulet makes it work for a double.
Well, the Roosters have just fallen into some power play here. The previous one, Millie Boyle, she was looking to back up her effort from last week, just to crash over nice and close to the line. And this time, they've been really peppering this left edge right from the scrum. And on the Harvey Norman replay, you'll show it's just a nice ball from Keely Davis, again, straight off the deck to a hard running forward. And she just twists and the Eels aren't able to keep her up. But the previous play, they had a nice little set play there to try and catch that Eels left edge unawares, but weren't able to do it this time, however, Fergo. They come up with gold.
Yeah, it's simple. She just targeted her opposition half, Rachel Pearson. Bit of a mismatch. Her second try for today. She is an absolute powerhouse. It was simple in that instance, but what a player, Paulet. I'm a massive fan of the style of footy that she plays.
Want to cheer her and the Roosters on? Head to Ticketek today to secure your tickets to the Roosters' next NRLW home game. That's against the Cowboys on Saturday, September 16, round 9 at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium. Tickets start from just $7.50. Does anything cost $7.50 these days?
Oh, you couldn't make
Honestly,
the ticket for $7.50.
a loaf of bread. That's a steal. That's a great
conversion from Kelleher. 32 points is the margin now after a double from Atessa Paulet. Through the 40-point barrier. 48-10 last week against the Tigers, set a new record score in the NRLW, and they're looking to better that this week the way they're going.
Plenty of time left in the game as well.
Look at that for and against on the live ladder back above the Knights. Titans sitting there in the top 4 with a negative differential. They're winning the close ones. Karen Murphy's side.
Good run.
It'll be amazing to see how that top 4 shakes down in a fortnight's time. It'll be just like the NRL. I reckon the final spots will go right down to the wire.
Yeah, I think so. You just have a look at the Eels here in defence. They're taking that one step up and they almost take 3 back once they hit contact. They're just gifting territory to the Roosters. Makes those quick play the balls nice and easy. They're finding their front. Keely Joseph finds her front. They get a quick play the ball. They play off the back of it.
Kelleher, big right foot step. So now we'll look to Aiken. No, they won't. From dummy half, it's oh so easy for Keely Davis, and the records are about to fall the way the Roosters are going.
Yet again, it's simple footy, but the Eels in that set, by not getting up off their line with any line speed and intensity in defence, it gifted the Roosters territory. They were just rolling through those tackles, winning every single play the ball, staying on their front, and this is off the back of a quick play the ball. Corbin Baxter finds Kelleher, and then Keely Davis, she has been brilliant all game. She stays on her feet here, and there's options on the right side. All it took was footy in two hands and to sell a nice little pass and then duck and weave underneath. But the Eels standing back and watching and waiting what the Roosters are going to do, that is the absolute key to losing a game against this side. You need to have intensity and intent with your defensive line if you want to stop this powerhouse of a side.
That was the perfect set after points, wasn't it? They just rolled down the field through their work. Jocelyn Kelleher is going to look to add the extra 2. But the last few times they got in that position, Keely Davis threw the pass, and this time, just too good. Scores herself.
Yeah, upping her percentage today with strikes like that. 7 out of 8, if you don't mind. From Jocelyn Kelleher, converting the 3rd career try for Keely Davis. And how excited are rugby league fans right now, because finals footy is just around the corner. Our next game's got a finals feel about it. The Sharks against Canberra for a home semi, and then all the finals start live and free on Nine's Wide World of Sports from this Friday night. That's 5 days away, ladies.
How good. How good. But I'm so excited for this afternoon's game in Cronulla. Sold out. It's been sold out for a while now. Good luck getting a park. Everyone will be walking from home. I dropped my car off there this morning and got an Uber.
No scooter, just the Uber.
No scooter.
No scooter.
I was working with Andrew Gaze recently on the basketball. He had the scooter option to get to the basketball on time.
I'd be a worry on a scooter.
Andrew Gaze on a scooter is pretty...
That's true.
That's quite a sight.
We hired them in Canberra once. Freddie had one on. Me, Freddie and KLH.
KLH will appreciate the shout out as Kelleher gets on the end of the offload. Oh, Boyle. Head rocks back as the boss, or rather Murphy, got involved.
Still manages a good play.
Aiken. Oh, Kelly couldn't hold on after the wizardry from Taryn Aiken again.
Well, yet again, though, the Roosters, there were a couple of big shots by the Eels, but the Roosters just rolling through their work. At the moment, I'd like to see some more marker work from the Eels defensively, because that's why the Roosters are actually rolling through as we see some big contact there. I think Millie might have got the better of that one.
Somehow able to get some go forward again after being rocked back initially by Murphy. Called out of this tackle, Millie Boyle, but not required as Tui Hiku came back inboard. 9 minutes to go on the Central Coast. Another dominant performance by the Sydney Roosters, but only Artu back to make a contribution. Murphy, not sure whether she knew the pass was coming, but she still made it stick with the left hand. Pearson on the last. And dropped in the in goal. A little casual from Jolie Morris.
Yeah, the kick had too much on it. There was plenty of kick pressure happening on Rachel Pearson. Jolie Morris couldn't clean it up tidily at the back there. So this will earn a repeat set here for the Eels.
Yeah, that back line for the Roosters had a little bit of a reshuffle, and Jess Surgis went off to get her finger looked at. We've had word she won't be returning this game, so hopefully for the Roosters it's a quick fix.
Hopefully it's just precautionary.
You'd hope so.
It's a fairly significant scoreline, so she might have earned that break.
Hopefully not a break. Looked like a dislocation, but they couldn't get it sorted out. Normally you can just click it back into place. As the Eels look for their second try, Murphy a pretty good option to choose, but a standing start that time. Cherrington, first receiver onto Pearson. Amiatu trying to duck under tackles. Again an offload. And back to the left they go for Berryman Duff. Baxter defending in the line.
It's great defence from Corbin Baxter. They're just targeting that space where Jessica Surgis would normally be. But Corbin Baxter there to clean it up.
Looks like they've got Cherrington back on there. She might be just playing more of that ball-playing lock, and Todd Hunter is staying at the 9 for the Eels.
Pearson, better looking kick this time.
Oh,
Jolie
great
Morris juggles it successfully this time, but another repeat set.
Yeah, it was a lovely bounce. The perfect grub up from Rachel Pearson. And they read it, the Roosters, but just that last little bounce, Kelleher just got away from her. And the kick chase,
Okay, Maddie,
Abby Church.
got a captain's challenge from high tackle.
When they wrapped up Jolie Morris trying to buy a little penalty in their own end goal here. How's the contact by Church?
I thought that contact is fine. It might be the next one coming in. Excuse me.
Yeah, do you get that? Not a whole lot in it. Don't think you will.
There's nothing in that.
We've seen ones being given, though. That's what worries me. But the referee was in a perfect position to rule on that live.
There is
I think
minimal
he's
incidental
right there.
contact
Yeah.
on the Roosters player. The challenge from Parramatta, from the Roosters, is unsuccessful.
That's a common sense approach to that one.
that was great.
I like that.
Did someone go down and tell Jolie Morris that she didn't do enough to earn a penalty there? Her
Outside.
eyes water from being smacked on the nose. Incidental contact.
Minimal incidental contact.
Impressed again in a beaten team here, Amiatu.
10, move! Front foot's here. Oh, you're going forward, go one.
Several teenagers catching the eye this season. Fanua back on. Get the offload away, and Murphy scouting wide, wants her teammate to go back inside, and Tui eventually did.
I reckon we could put together a really good rookie team from the NRLW class of 2023.
That sounds like podcast fodder for you and Marley this week.
Oh, yeah, hands off. That's my copyright. Tell Marley, I've got some work to do this week.
There's Murphy. Taken down, quick play the ball from dummy half. Deserves a try for her performance today. Todd Hunter turned away though by Aiken. Cherrington, nice service for Pearson. Plenty of room there, but couldn't get the kick away. Look at Koenig. Turned defence into attack. And Cherrington eventually reeled her in.
She was searching for help then, Olivia Koenig. She was like, where are my speedsters?
But what a player she is.
Oh, so good. So skillful as well for such a tall, rangy player.
Go to.
Fantastic read in defence.
20, heads away. Goes free. Bouncing.
Aiken. Oh, lovely moving. Important tackle by Church, but not held. So able to get up and go again here, Poulet, hunting a hat-trick.
She needed help then, Abby Church. This defensive line is not up to the task at the moment.
Aiken again. Looking so dangerous every time she gets the footy, but taken down on play 5.
Square. Hold.
Davis. Oh, nice hands. Pearson copped a whack for her troubles, and that is a penalty. That's not minimal incidental contact.
No, that one was very clear and direct to the ear of Rachel Pearson there. Lovely kick, but it was trapped and scrapped beautifully there. The left arm of Pasakala collecting Rachel Pearson's head.
Requiring an instant HIA assessment. Pearson said, I'm fine. Trainer agreed.
Okay, front foot here, Keely. Hold.
Inside the final 5 minutes of round 7 in the NRLW. Cannot wait for the round 8 blockbuster. Roosters v Newcastle. And that game is at McDonald Jones Stadium. home final coming up for the men, of course, next week. And then you've got the blockbuster in the women's team. Time you run to ensure you're there to watch all the action, Newcastle fans.
I think we're going to be up there too for that one. Going to catch it all live and free.
Pearson kicking for herself here. Was she tripped up? Looked accidental if it was. And that's how the referee sees it.
I think she clipped the back of Pasacala's leg. She's strong as she.
Molly Morris did the same thing when Bridie Parker went down with that ACL so early in the grand final of 2021. Came on and played on the wing. Running behind the lead runner there, Baxter. Given the all clear as Hill Moana was just decoy value. Aiken pops up everywhere. Tight window there and off the outside of the boot, out in the full. It's a rare blemish from Taryn Aiken in this season.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot of space to work with down that short edge. And the kick came off the side of the boot at the same time and travelled straight in touch. But I think Keely Davis has had an outstanding game. She's played the whole time as well. Her service has been impeccable. Her decision making has been fantastic. She's such a good buy for this Tricolours outfit.
They've got so many good players that, oh, look out, Sherrington through, Joseph holds on, ball and all tackle needed to be. But you guys made the point that Dally M favouritism maybe with Taryn Aiken, but teammates might steal some votes off her.
Well, Keely Davis also leads the tackle count for the Roosters, so we're raving on about her decision making. This is all under fatigue. She's got through a ton of work. That just shows the class at which she plays that dummy half position.
Determined run again from Church. Eels looking for their second try of this half. Pearson. And it all got a little out of shape. Harvey and Toi Hiku
three, she offloads after the help.
making different kinds of runs to what Pearson anticipated. Amiatu, I thought she was shaping to kick for a moment. Instead it swept wide to Murphy. Looking on all comers, still plays up their sleeve here as we enter the final minute of the ball game. Berryman Duff demanding it short side. No way through for Tui as Parker defends well. Church. Yes, clock is ticking away here and they'll get the last couple of plays, Parramatta.
Well, at the moment, Parramatta, they're shifting the ball laterally, but there's no punch. If they can just punch in and set up off that, I think they'll start to find a little bit of space. But at the moment, they're making it easy for the Roosters just to shut them down.
Roosters trying to get ready for finals footy with this defensive stand in the closing minutes, trying to simulate for that. Can they hold on against Parramatta? Throwing everything at them. Clever kick from Pearson. Oh, she's a great player, isn't she, Hunt? Does not miss the opportunity. It's a try on the bell, and it's spectacular.
Spectacular doesn't even begin to describe it. Rachel Pearson, again, she has been scheming all game. Her kick selection has been fantastic. There's only been one
Capable of freakish moments. Maintained her width as well. They knew what was on. Half back and winger.
That was the kind of play I was looking for them prior to that half time. when they took the 2 points. Something like that. That's what I would have loved to have seen out of them, and you get a lot of confidence out of that as Rachel Pearson lines this one up. Can it swing?
Just waved away. So that's the final score here on the Central Coast. The Roosters go back to the top of the ladder. They win it 46 points to 12. Back to you, Emma.